Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Sports. Of course, I'm your master of podcasts, Zach. Along with me, I have my co-host, Nick.
Hello, hello.
We have reached the time where it's a little bit of a dead time in the sports world.
Yeah, kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for sports news this week.
Yes, indeed. But good news is we have a whole jam-pack full of WNBA news, as I went more in deep than I usually do because ain't nothing else happening right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
So where do we want to begin? I figure we begin with our new sports, our brand new sports, and get the easy coverage out of the way. So let's talk about some of that PLL. What's going on in the world of lacrosse?
Yeah, so in Chicago for the Riverwalk, they are doing, or what they did was they got a barge set up with a mini lacrosse field on it and had the first ever lacrosse game on a river, and it was they had a couple different 3v3 little games going on there, and I didn't actually find any footage of it. I just saw a photo of the setup. A very small playing field. I have to either imagine they brought a ton of like backup balls or something, because if you miss, it's just out into the river. They're
just playing on the barge, like no walls or nets?
I didn't see much in the way of it, no. I think everyone on board was like, hey, look alive when lacrosse is in action. Yeah, so that was kind of fun, because the whole thing was like, it's a basically slowly floating billboard of, hey, come check out the lacrosse this weekend.
You might be doing like some little passes back and forth. Maybe not playing a real game, or they're just rocketing balls out into the
that's
river
what I
there.
think, yeah, could be. But in the games that have been completed in that Chicago homestand, the ones from last night, the New York Atlas defeated the Boston Cannons 17-11, and the Utah, I believe they're the Arrows or something, lost to the Philadelphia Water Dogs 16-11. So with another win this week, Denver is in position to take a pretty commanding lead in the West here.
Like I said, they have a pretty good team set together. Do you know what the standings are looking like now? I know at one time we were pretty much even across the board at one time, but there might be a little bit separation now.
So those two games I just reported on are the only new results we have in there. New York and Philadelphia, both being in the East, are now tied for their lead with 4-2 records out on that side. Denver is in competition with Utah. Utah lost, so they're now on the bottom of the West. And then the other game that has yet to tip off this evening is the Carolina versus California. And California is our other Western team.
Are they just California?
It's the California Redwoods, yeah.
That's weird. That's a large state.
It's been a while since they've had to deal with just the one team to pick from.
But good news, lacrosse still alive. And how much longer do we have of our PLL action going on?
We are just past the midway point. We're going to have a few more games basically through August. Will get us through the regular season, and then the last weekend of August, first weekend of September is going to be when we figure out playoffs and championship.
Be exciting. Hopefully, I assume 4 teams are going in there because there's 8 total, correct?
8 total. Top 4 make it into the finals, and then we'll have a championship game scheduled for Sunday, September 14th, just in time to get everyone free and clear for the NLL, the Indoor Lacrosse League. They'll be starting up after that.
Yeah, good to hear. Also, kind of cool that you could play in sort of both leagues if you so desire, / if you need to, from a financial perspective. With that being said, we'll move on to my sport, the FIFA Club World Cup, and boy, how unexciting this has been. We are moving into our last 2 rounds. We did have our final 2 play. Your team, Chelsea, did end up beating the Brazilian team and are moving on into the final.
Called it.
Yep, and I really shouldn't pick any teams. I feel bad. My bad, Man United. My bad, Real Madrid, because Real Madrid also got knocked out by PSG, who will be heading into the finals against Chelsea in this very riveting soccer event that we've had here in the States.
Well, you are not allowed to give that finger of death to my Chelsea Blues, so...
I've tried so many different times, they will not die.
Exactly.
But this should be an exciting one. I mean, it's a good affair, one that should have a draw. This overall event has been lackluster, I think I'll say the least, mostly from the American side. We don't care quite enough about soccer,
especially with none of our teams left in the running here at the end of things.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because there's some really, really good soccer. There's a larger crowd getting drawn in because there are a lot of soccer fans in the United States. Don't get me wrong there, but in the majority, this should be a much bigger thing. The World Cup that happened, I think, I forget somewhere. Oh, Saudi Arabia a couple years ago was massive and had a huge draw, but of course that's nation to nation. The club one is a small draw, but also here in America, it's tough.
And it's hard enough to get Americans' attention for the actual World Cup every 4 years. The Club World Cup kind of popped up out of nowhere without a whole lot of fanfare or explanation or build up, and that's not how you gain Americans' attention. You gotta make it a bit of a thing.
Yeah, I could have been better. I think it was a learning experience for all. Like I said, this is the first time they've reformatted it this year, so it's the first brand new version of this event that we are seeing this year. So some notes to take from it, and hopefully the next time they go around, hopefully it's somewhere with a better attendance and draw. I saw the envisioning that we want to grow this thing because the only market they are really missing, and unfortunately it's a huge market money wise and everything else from a viewership and a profit, is here in America, especially for FIFA.
Yeah, and good luck with that, because I don't know. You can bring the top talent over and that will pull a little bit of your hardcore soccer fans, but it's hard to move the needle with soccer in America unless it's here are your American heroes, here's who you're supposed to cheer for, and yes, they are in the games that matter at the very end. And
yeah, I don't know, it's tough.
Anything less than that, and it's no one's going to tune in, even against no other programming.
I don't know how you get the American attention from something that's not an American sport. Even hockey is now, they're not struggling to the same degree, but they took them a long time to sort of get their foot to become a major sport, one of the major sports.
And they're still not very good at promoting that sport or growing it. Most of their expansion can be thanks to Wayne Gretzky and Sidney Crosby, essentially, in the last couple decades.
Yep, Wayne Gretzky heading out to LA to bring on the new wave of hockey with the Mighty Ducks and whatnot. Thank you, Disney, as well for that. And then sit over there in Pittsburgh, the grimy town of the Penguins.
That's kind of been it, because I don't know what the last time I've thought of a good effort the NHL has. They've been able to do the expansion, which is good. We have the Seattle teams now, but for whatever reason, they cannot keep a franchise alive in Atlanta, even though it sounds like they're going to try and take a third crack at that.
Atlanta doesn't feel like a hockey place.
And if anything, it's so you already have Tampa Bay and Florida teams down in Florida. You've got the Hurricanes in your Carolinas. It's a very small little window of the South you're trying to capture there. Nashville has also got its own little pocket now. It's hard to imagine that is such a diehard hockey market that it needs tapping.
Let's go to Miami. Put hockey in Miami.
That's not unheard of. I think there have been some proposals for that.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's talk a little bit about that hard round ball. What have the Rockies been up to this week, and some other good baseball news that we've had going on? Because that is the only sport that we got, as well as the WNBA.
It's true.
In live action.
It's true, and the results are not very good out of Rockies Town. We had a road trip out to Boston this week, and
Green Monster was monstering.
Yeah, it was not pretty. The very similar flashbacks to getting swept by the Red Sox in other important series in Rockies history. But 3 games out there in Boston, 3 losses, a 3-9, a 2-10, and a 2-10.
We gave it our best.
Yeah, some real rough ones. Game 2, Kyle Freeland went 5 2/3 clean and then could not get himself out of the 6th inning. And once the bullpen took over, they let the floodgates just wide open. Game 3 was another Senzatella start, and he got out of the first inning unscathed this time, but innings 2, 4, 5, and 6 proved to be his undoing on this one. The bright news ahead of that, because I will circle back to the Game 3 of the Red Sox series, but we are on the road after that with 3 games against the Cincinnati Reds before the All-Star break here. And with only 1 game in the book so far, the Rockies are ahead in this series with a win on Friday night, 3-2. This was, let me double check here, I believe German Marquez bringing in 6 innings of 1-run ball. and the bullpen actually coming in behind him to keep things pretty clean for a 3-2 victory.
Been a while since we've had one in that W column. It's been drubbings and drubbings and drubbings.
We had that hot week where we pulled off 4 in a row or something, and then the stat I saw is we've been 4-17 since then, something like that.
I think I got duped. I think the Rockies duped me. I caught them on the peak time. This is the best they
We did discuss
played.
that might have been the best they look all year.
I think it was all downhill from there. The Rocket did not leave the atmosphere and did not get past the trees.
No, a complete failure to launch there. Other positive news to report from Rockies Nation. We are currently nursing a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th in Game 2 of this series. So by the end of the broadcast, we'll know one way or the other. But I did say I needed to circle back to Game 3 of the Red Sox series, and that was because we did make another classic Rockies everyone point and laugh highlight. The very first batter of the game on this Wednesday game, we had Thursday off this week, the Wednesday night game, the very first batter up for the Red Sox hits a ground ball up the middle just past the pitcher's foot. The shortstop, in his attempts coming to his left to try and field the ball, kicks the ball out into right field. Yep.
How far did he kick it?
I mean, he basically soccer punted it in perfect stride. Instead of getting it with his glove, he got it with his foot as he was running. Just kicks it right out to the right fielder, who tries to barehand the ball in an attempt to pick off the runner at second, and in doing so whiffs on the ball completely, allowing what should have been a ground ball out.
Is this about to be an inside the park home run?
Just about. He did stop at third because Ryan McMahon made an incredible dive to keep the incredibly wayward throw out from the outfield from going past into the dugout and awarding him the run. But yes, what should have been a ground ball out, pretty routine, turned into a triple.
About right.
Mm-hmm. And that everyone had a good laugh sharing that around the internet the next couple of days of, look how bad the Rockies are.
But we were hustling.
Yeah, I mean, the effort was there, clearly. The results, bad.
But we were working hard.
This is true. So that was the game action notes from this week. Not a whole lot else to talk about. Former Rockies news. We can do a little roundup on that. Trevor Story has been in a little bit of a resurgence for those Boston Red Sox. He helped take part in the whooping of his former team, and is basically pretty similar to most ex-Rockies after they go off to free agency. They get injured a lot and miss a lot of time. So Trevor's finally feeling back to his healthy ways and actually producing at his old clip, at least in the last couple of weeks, which is good for him. We cannot say the same for our old buddy DJ LeMahieu out in New York. They have DFA'd him, designated him for assignment, said there is no longer a roster spot for you on this club. Good luck and goodbye.
He's playing third base now.
Still at second, which is a little surprising for a man of his age. That's kind of the problem, is it's a pretty common position for, you can find middle infielders pretty readily in this league. So they have plenty of young kids who they're like, we can run someone else out there for the defense and get better batting. The crazy thing is the batting average that they are sending him to the curb for would be a huge upgrade to our lineup.
I was about to say, can he play first base?
I mean, maybe. I don't think we should. That would kind of fry all his muscle memory of doing the other half of that side of the infield. He might try and range too far away from the bag and then turn and throw to no one.
Wouldn't be the worst thing that happened to us.
That would be my concern. But overall, yes, the idea has gotten a fair bit of traction online of hey, we're not doing anything anyway, and he's available for as dirt cheap as he's going to come right now. Should we go get DJ back?
Come back home.
And we don't really have any need in the middle. We kind
of need a dude at the back because Tovar's kind of glass cannon right now.
It's still on the injured list. The shortstop in question, so we have so many. The shortstop should be Ezekiel Tovar. It wasn't. We have been running out Ryan Ritter, who's a rookie this year. He just made his debut. He was also not playing. It was Orlando Arcia who was the shortstop in that game.
Arcia's
and he's a journeyman guy we picked up after getting cut from the Braves for not hitting enough.
He's not very... I'm sorry, Mr. RC. I'm sure you're a good guy, but he's not a very good baseball player, in my opinion. And you do play for the Rockies, so
So it could work. But DJ, similar boat, has had a lot of injury issues that has kept him from being the MVP caliber player he was for the Yankees in those first couple of years.
R.I.P.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, and then we have to give you the update on your favorite part of baseball, the mandatory all-star selection from each team.
I hate it so much.
We now know our Rockies representative this year will be catcher Hunter Goodman.
For what purpose?
Because of his, I believe, 17 home runs and 280-something batting average.
Is he going to do the home run derby or something?
I don't think so. He's not on the short list of guys who are really raking.
Useless.
Yeah, it is very much a sympathy nod. Oh, and then the other controversy now coming out of All-Star selection, which we are getting ready to see that game coming up here this week, so we'll get a fun little glimpse at that. Actually, I should pull up who is going to be in that home run derby. But the thing that has riled up a few people in the game now, especially the old-time folks, is that Jacob Misarowski, the little our young new fireballer out of not Minnesota, the Brewers,
Milwaukee.
Thank you. Has been named as an all-star replacement after making just 5 starts in Major League Baseball. They have been 5 pretty impressive starts. Like, if you're going to be like, yeah, this kid's not bad, but it is a wildly low number of innings pitched compared to a lot of other players who could have been slotted into that roster spot for the All-Star game.
Good move on the MLB. Young name. People know his name because he's had a couple of highlights. Bring a little bit more eyes. This game,
and 100%. There's I think the Phillies specifically, who are campaigning for one of their guys to make the game, have been it's just a celebrity, it's a popularity contest now, and it's just to get social media clicks. And
yes, your sport is
guys, dying.
That
That is kind of what's going on here.
Your sport is dying, and no one wanted to pick you up. You have to do something.
So that is the state of affairs in that All-Star game. Let's see here. I have our list of who is participating in that home run derby this year because, unfortunately, I don't even know when this started historically, but you don't get the best home run hitters for the home run derby anymore. You get the 8 best guys who will agree to do it.
Correct.
Which is not ever the top 3 home run hitters anymore.
No.
Almost certainly those guys, for whatever reason, they caught on to some statistical trend that doing the home run derby throws off your swing for the second half or something.
Yes.
So they don't do it anymore. But of the guys who said that they would do it this year, we have Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves.
Big name.
James Wood from the Washington Nationals, who, if you'll remember, single-handedly stole a game against us with 2 home runs.
Not difficult to do, but...
Yep. O'Neal Cruz from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Never heard of him.
He is a center field. I'll send you a clip of. He made one of the laziest plays in baseball history earlier this year. It was pretty hilarious. He's a center fielder. A little line driver got hit, and it's one of those where you have to bend down and field it on the hop. And he barely bent down. It glanced off the side of his glove and kicked off maybe 25 feet behind him, and he stopped moving and kind of looked over his shoulder at it, and he was like, damn, that's a shame.
My bad.
Not even my bad. He's like, someone should get that.
Fair enough.
But he rakes apparently at the plate, so he's worth keeping around. Participant number 4, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, the big dumper himself, who has now set the American League record with 38 home runs before the All-Star break by hitting a grand slam earlier this weekend.
There's your big home run hitter.
He's the hottest hand in the contest if you're a betting type.
And everyone likes big dumper.
Which almost certainly means he'll be knocked out in the first round of competition.
For sure.
Our other contestants, Byron Buxton out of the Minnesota Twins. I couldn't tell you anything about him. I have not heard that name all year yet.
Has he played for the Rockies?
Nope. Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays, another name I have not heard yet at all in any of my MLB coverage. Brent Rooker, the designated hitter from the Oakland Athletics, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the Miami Marlins.
Who's hating? Is he? I thought he was a Yankee, but the Yankees might have traded him.
Yeah, I think he got moved around since you last checked in on him.
It's been a while since I've seen a baseball name, but I remember seeing him in a Yankees uniform because I thought he was the one they made the barrel bat for.
Oh, the torpedo bat?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what source I'm looking at that has him listed as a Marlin. He is currently a New York Yankee.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's why we have a torpedo bat, and he was the one that was getting criticized, and he was like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. I actually watched a video about someone who done the math now that we're a few more months in on torpedo bats, and there's like maybe 24 guys in the league who are still using it on a regular basis, and like of them, about 18 have seen any sort of statistical deviation one way or another.
Does not mean up.
No, it does not. So there's about like 7 or 8 of them who are not better with their torpedo bats, and then like the other, it's like a 50-50 split essentially.
Tries to break torpedo bat, breaks leg because his weight's all different.
It was enough of a wrinkle to get people's attention, but yeah, certainly no immediate data to back up the fact that is doing it for everyone. But there is a small subset of contact-specific hitters who have just the right approach where maybe this is the tool that is better for you.
I'm actually shocked there's not more things like a torpedo bat because everyone's swing is just so different and unique to them on a numbers basis. Some people will have a very similar like swing path and whatnot in the baseball because that's just...
I think the biggest thing is that the MLB rulebook is very specific about what the potential dimensions of a baseball bat can be. Like they've made the box very small of where you can experiment with. So that's about all you can do is move the mass in the shape around. You can't really expand the shape or the length or...
Yeah. They don't want to let people juice no more. Won't let them play with their bats.
Nope.
This league is no fun.
Basically. And then that was all the major league news I had. I did also want to say you did send me a very funny clip earlier this week.
I'll let you talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's of a minor league game that happens to be playing through a storm going on, and unfortunately an enormous crack of thunder rolls over the stadium just as the pitcher had raised his leg to begin his windup, and he, like everyone else in the stadium, jumped at the volume and I'm sure, like vibration of this thunderclap, but it did cost him a balk. The umpire did immediately, with no regret, after finishing his own, he was like, that's a balk. You balked. And no one was happy in the dugout for that one, but rules is rules, and that was, by the books, a balk.
So stupid, because it was just like after he'd given up, there's a dude on third too. It's just like...
Yep, and it's a free run for all free base for all the base runners, so it was a run scored thanks to the weather, and maybe another instance of the umpires should have probably put a pause to the game and let the weather roll by, because this is why baseball doesn't do good in weather.
Like, what do you expect the man to do? He has
to not flinch.
He has to have no emotion, just hold it there.
Yeah, basically, he should have still thrown that pitch.
So dumb.
Very, very funny. But yeah, that was, I believe, all of the big news. There was a little bit of a headline of the Yankees stealing a game that they had. There was like 99% win probability for the Mariners going into the... They were going into the 8th inning without a hit yet. They were taking a no-hitter into the 8th, and the Yankees scored 5 runs in the last 2 innings.
And they remembered they are not the Rockies.
Basically, yeah. So that was another little highlight out of the league, but otherwise, pretty quiet heading into All-Star break. Cal Rally was the kind of home run conversation. Everyone's excited to see Shohei pitching again, but that's still kind of just 2 or 3 innings every now and then. And otherwise, like I said, we are getting that home run derby and all-star game this coming week. We'll be back to regular Rockies coverage for next weekend when they resume on Friday the 18th against the Minnesota Twins.
What do we define as regular Rockies coverage?
The level that I've been giving thus far.
Oh, okay. No good, no bad, just standard.
Yeah, we're probably not going to dig too much deeper into each game and dissect the suffering, but, I'll keep you guys abreast of notable happenings.
We're only 34 games back.
We are still on pace to be the worst record of all time in baseball history. I think we'd have to go something like 25 and basically double our winning percentage for the second half of the year to avoid it.
I'm curious,
this point.
I'm curious who's ever been the fastest to 100 losses in a season.
Oh boy, we can start. I'll start doing the research into that, and we can get some more info as we start heading towards that goal.
Will we get?
This will almost for like the Rockies themselves. This will almost certainly be the fastest we hit it.
Not a shot. We get 50 wins this season.
No.
Not even close.
We're not on pace for 35.
I was about to say, do we get to 100 losses first or 50 wins? And I was like,
the 50 wins will not happen. Don't even got to worry about it.
Vegas is not going to like that one.
It's not even a bettable thing. They will not accept it.
It is bettable.
I'm sure
the numbers are astronomical on that one.
Yeah.
Did anything happen in the hockey world this week? Anything of news?
There's a couple notes that we can run down just so everyone's abreast of the happenings, but not anything to really chew on too deep. That CBA extension that I told you about that was coming down the pipeline did get ratified officially, so we are going to be looking at 84 games. I believe that will kick in after this coming season. That will not be an immediate in place because we're still scheduled for 6 preseason games this season. So they're not going to ruffle that just yet. But for, I believe, the 26-27 season, we'll be looking at that extended regular season schedule. And they did come up with a very convoluted set of rules for the salary cap now for the playoff situation. I did try to read through the legalese of it, and I did get lost in Section 1. So I'm going to trust that it makes sense to them. But it's a whole thing about basically averaging the salaries of all your roster spots or something, and that's how much you can do for the... I'm sure someone will have a more coherent breakdown of it when it becomes a thing we have to worry about. So that got ratified. We will not have to worry about a labor shortage or stoppage in the NHL until 2030 now. Very exciting there. The Avs filled their assistant coaching spot to be in charge of the power play unit now.
Because God, was it awful.
The Ray Bennett era, I think, had run its course. The Avs have hired Dave Hackstall, who you may remember most recently as the coach of the Seattle Kraken when they were eliminating us from the playoffs 2 years ago. Since then, he was fired for not getting them to the cup that year, I guess.
For not doing his job and winning championships.
Yeah, even though that was the furthest their little baby franchise had made it, they did let him go that following year to get Dan Bylsma, who they then went ahead and fired this offseason. But Dave Hackstall spent this last season with Team Canada, and previous to that had been an assistant with Toronto and a head coach for the Philadelphia Flyers in their most recent over 500 stretch of playing, which was like the late 2010s. It was like the 2016 to 2018 era. So that's who we have coming up. Obviously, long history in the game, a pretty veteran guy, and someone who can clearly get offensive production out of less than ideal pieces. So it'll be very interesting to see what he does with some of the best in the game power play pieces. And then the other Avs news from this week, the only little bit of contract news we got was that we are going to get the manimal Josh Manson for 2 more years at $3.95 million per, which is pretty reasonable for a solid middle pairing defenseman. We don't need him to be the top pairing guy. We just need him to do what he does. That's a great deal, especially if you get Josh Manson in the playoffs. The biggest question mark with this is he is a tough physical defenseman past age 30. How healthy will he be for the length of this contract?
Would say 3 million some change?
Just under 4, essentially, but very important to note that it is under 4.
How much cap we got left? It can't be very much.
That probably puts us at around 4 and some change.
You can get 3 hockey players for that amount.
Some not good ones, yeah. We still need a few. Like it's a very quiet market out there right now. I guess people are waiting till after rookie development camps are done to maybe see if they have some, surprise breakout years, and then we'll probably get back to the GMs making some phone calls with each other and saying, here's what I need, what do you got? But yep, still quiet on that front so far this year.
Is that the rest of the hockey news that we need to know about, at least for now, until something big and explosive comes along?
I believe so, yeah. We did not have any other major contract signage or anything like that. A few other teams are making little moves here or there, but we'll give a more in-depth profiling of everyone, like I said, before the season starts and we actually know who's where.
Moving on into the basketball world, I think we're going to get into some juicier topics here. We'll start with the NBA, where not a whole lot is happening. The biggest news to note is that we have people doing basically rookie max extensions. Chet Holmgren is one of them. Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic, and Jalen Williams, also of the OKC Thunder. So OKC's paying.
Thunder are spending a lot of money this summer.
They are spending a whole lot of the money. Rookie max extension right now is $280 for 5 years, basically. So that Thunder team is becoming very expensive very quickly.
Yeah, that seems. I mean, I get the thinking, especially after you win a championship and all, but yeah, long-term strategy, that maybe not the smartest GM move.
But yeah, potentially.
We'll see.
Out in Phoenix, after we've shifted off Kevin Durant and everyone else away from Devin Booker once again, he's agreed to a $145 million 2-year extension on his contract. He's going to be the highest paid basketball player per year.
That's wild.
It's basically $75 million a year.
That's now, does he have an agent? I know that's getting more and more popular. Or is that football I'm thinking of?
Everyone has agents.
Well, because there's a little growing pocket in the NFL circles of guys who are starting to represent themselves and be like, I'm saving that percentage.
Yeah, most of the NBA players have agents. The NFL has been very strict about who's blessed as an agent. They're the only ones, which is why it's so difficult. The NBA is less so. And then the other big news in the NBA is as CJ McCollum gets shipped off to Washington to go die out there. He also got ousted as in the NBA PA president. He did not get voted for this year, and Fred VanVleet will take over the job as the president for the NBA PA.
Okay. Well, a changing of the guard then.
For sure. CJ's been fine-ish for the most part. He's been non-controversial I would say for the least. But it'll be interesting to see what Fred does. I know, unfortunately for him, there's probably going to be a lot more on his plate potentially, especially as we've learned how the Jonas Valanciunas stuff has played out and whatnot. That
some new wrinkles to negotiate out on things.
And especially with all the injuries that we've seen in this playoffs as well, it's something else to keep in mind, at least for scheduling purposes.
Do we know when the next CBA negotiations are up yet, or how long we have before they would have to worry about extensions?
I think we have a couple years before we have to worry about extensions. So I think 30 was I think my initial thinking, but I'll have to do some research and look that up. But moving over to the W, which is very much so in season, this week has been a crazy week, and we'll see a themed as this week has gone on. The first game to take note of earlier this week that happened Sunday, actually. Yeah, last Sunday, because we didn't get to cover that one. Mm-hmm. The Storm, once again, figured out how to take down the Liberty. 79-70 was the final on that one. Sabrina led the Liberty, 22 points. But she had absolutely no help. Breanna Stewart had a kind of a rough go out there, and Storm did a great job. They held the Liberty to 6 points coming out of that halftime. So Bob's your uncle, and that pretty much is how the game ended up as it did that way. And then the fun one. This is where we start to see some trends. Chicago Sky taking on the Minnesota Lynx. Not Minnesota. It is Minnesota. Yeah, the Minnesota Lynx. This one 75-80. Actually, a little competition there. Williams and Collier just kind of put on a show. They both had 25 plus. That's kind of a lot. The Sky are not a super great scoring team. They traded basically blows through the first half. Came into halftime with a 1-point lead on the Lynx side, and Minnesota just kind of went back and forth for that whole second half. And Lynx came out with a marginal victory, which is all they really needed to end up winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to overcome Nafisa and Courtney Williams both popping off like that. That's going to be tough for any team to stop, much less the Sky, who are, still, I mean, has anyone really been helping Angel this season out there consistently? Not consistently.
She's had up and down help throughout, but we'll talk a little bit about more. Should be noted, Angel in this one also had a 15-15 game, is like her second in a row up to that point.
Yeah, Angels have been having crazy numbers this year.
Very much so. Liberty, and we'll talk about the Liberty one more time here. Liberty finally snapped their losing streak that they've been on for a couple days now.
Quite the skid they went on there.
They did, in fact. They did snap it against the Las Vegas Aces, unfortunately. Sabrina finally did get some help in this game, and also the Aces lost Aja midway through that second quarter. She went down to injury, but some say maybe if she came back, would have been a different game. Me, mostly as a Vegas fan, says that. Vegas still struggling with some ups and downs, really trying to battle through injury. Aja's been in and out of the lineup. Unfortunately, they rely on her to do a lot, at least to be the monster that they once were. And not having her in really is tough go. Same way for any team that's missing their star player.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
And once again, the Sky come through, playing one of our top tier Washington Mystics, who we learned about a couple weeks ago, 79-81. We're closing the gap here.
No, Angel, that's so close.
Angel in this one, 22-15, but the Sky played from behind the whole way through. They never caught up. They were right there, basically a couple points away all the way through the game.
Yeah, that's a tough scoreline. Yeah, 3-point difference in the first quarter, 2 points in the second, 3 points in the third, and then they were even in the fourth. So just any one of those quarters goes the other way. Brutal. 2-point
victory, though. You're 1 bucket away from forcing overtime and 1-3 away from actually winning the game. But
that definitely has to feel better than the whoopings they were getting earlier in the season. But
we're starting to see them pick up. We got to the rock bottom earlier on, like we talked about. Now we're picking up. Minnesota's a very good team. We almost got them. Mystics, we are right there, but not quite. And then the shocking one of the week, the Suns. They beat the Storm. We have unfortunately slandered the Suns quite badly on this podcast because
I think we've done factual reporting on the Connecticut Suns.
We have done factual reporting, but they've done themselves no favors and us no favors. But this one, they beat the Storm 93-83. A big victory for the little guy taking on one of the top tier guys. In this one, Tina Charles for the Sun basically drags her team to victory. Essentially,
that's crazy.
29-11-8. She dragged her team all the way to the promised land. They did an excellent job. They hold the Storm to 9 points in the final quarter.
Wild.
9 points to win the game.
That is a huge defensive style. And yeah, that is the difference. That's 27-9 in the fourth quarter. What a clampdown. That's impressive.
Impressive for the Sun. Little sad, or impressive for the Sun, sad for the Storm.
Sad for the Storm.
All these suns and storms and things.
Especially with, they've got Ogwumike and Skylar Diggins-Smith. And
Storm are very good.
And I think they played good like that.
They played fairly well except for the one quarter, and that's really all it can take. So I know as a Nuggets fan that you just lose it there. Sometimes the sun just shines too bright through the storm.
Yeah, you can't expect to win them all, but oh boy.
Yes.
Well, good for Connecticut. They needed that. That puts them at 3 wins on the season, it looks like.
We don't talk about we talk only about the wins now.
Okay.
And that is one of their ones. And then today, I didn't put it in because it was still happening as I was making my notes.
Oh boy.
Today, the Chicago Sky, 87 against the Lynx, 81. They finally got one against a top dog team again.
Hey.
In this one, again, Angel, of course, leads the team at 19-11, making it her fourth 15-plus double and 10 rebound game, so double for her. Cardoza actually came back to help her out, 17-15, and then Atkins 27 and 3-1, which is not. We like the 27. Can get a little bit more assists and rebounds. Collier's just running around there, kind of no help today. She had 26, McBride had 17, Williams had 13, and no one else really shone through that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's going to need a little bit more support out there because, when it's that kind of one-dimensional in the offense, that makes it a little easier to overcome.
Very much so. Angel Reese in the Sky, fine. I think they are trending in the right way now. They are a few, probably more games than they'd like to be back out of the playoff dreams, at least in their current standings. I think they're like 4. Yeah, they're 4 games back from a playoff spot, a for sure playoff spot. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. I think I don't know who I'm going to so this is what the playoff standings look like right now. Minnesota, I think they're for sure in. Phoenix, I think they're probably going to be a for sure in because they're the number 2 team in the league right now. The Liberties are for sure in. Seattle, no one's touching them still. Atlanta's playing fairly good still. Golden State probably will. They might drop out. I don't know what the second half will look like here as we start to head towards the All-Star break. Possible they are their first season, but it would be a hell of a ride if they made it on their inaugural season into the playoffs.
They've been overachieving all year already, so that wouldn't surprise me, but it is still a lot of games left on the schedule.
Yep, and then you have Indiana, who's currently in, and then Washington, who's currently in, and then Vegas and Chicago are like right behind them. I don't know which of the teams I'd take out for Vegas and Chicago. Washington, I think, might drop off and Vegas could sneak in, but I don't know how Chicago makes it unless Golden State or Indiana fall off. But everyone is going to want the Reese-Clark matchup in the playoffs as a potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. I don't see... There's not an obvious way for Chicago to get in there just yet, but if they keep it up, and that's probably going to mean them having to step over a couple of these other teams along the way. But yeah, Golden State is probably your most likely, just because they're an unknown quantity right now. Yeah,
I don't know what to expect for them, and they don't have They have a culture because they've been in the league long enough now, but I don't know what the history for them looks like quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's an untrodden territory so far.
Yeah, I mean, I know the way they drafted their team is just a bunch of gritty dogs to sort of get it done. But I don't know if that's going to be enough towards the end there. But we'll see as the season goes on.
The other one I could see, the other way I could see it playing out is potentially a Caitlyn versus Angel battle for that playoff spot by the end of the season, because the Fever have been very kind of up and down with Caitlyn's injuries this year.
Yeah,
because they were like top 3 seed or something last year, weren't they? No, they squeaked in.
They did not make it at all. They were bad last year.
I thought she got them into the playoffs at the end there.
No, she fell short. They were bad, but not bad enough to get a top pick. She just got all. They went out in the offseason and said, "We're going to get you some help, Caitlyn. Here's all these fun new tools that you can play with." And she's like, much nicer now, much nicer. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about sports business, because some of these are not like the others.
Yeah, what you got here?
So you can stop me when something starts to sound a little funky.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, as we're kind of doing a business here, pretty much, and we're on the mission to growth here. So which one of these sounds funny? So in the sports world, there's this idea of a revenue split. Whenever you make profit or whatever, who gets what and how much of that what do you get? So the NFL, which is our gold standard for leagues and the Americas, at least,
the number one sort of sports business in the world. I think that's safe to say for the most part. There are some Euro leagues and whatnot. The business structures of those are also kind of fun, because they're like companies of companies.
Yeah, my brain would explode. But in the NFL, on a revenue split, it is 50 to 42 owner to player. In the NHL, which is your favorite, they are 50-50 owner to player.
Mm-hmm.
MLB, 51.5 to 48.5 owner to player.
Splitting some very fine hairs here with the MLB.
The MLB is really wanting to lay down the line there. The NBA is 51 to 49 owner to player.
Mm-hmm.
And then the WNBA is 42 to 16 to owner, NBA, and investors.
Now, yeah, that raises some question marks here of who are these investors?
So
why are they not considered owners?
I learned about this a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't brought it to the podcast because we've been covering so much, and I said, there ain't nothing going on now.
Sure.
So why not talk about it now? So the WNBA business model is, of course, 42% goes to the owners. That's sure, whatever, 50, whatever it is. That makes sense. 42% another 42% goes to the NBA owners. And then the 16% goes to investors who help grow the league.
Now, that's a very interesting sort of thing. And I'm not quite sure, because other leagues have had to normally it's your owners who are the investors, quote unquote, and it's like their money that they spend to grow the league that they are a part of. So is that just like a function of the W being a newer, small league that had to kind of bootstrap themselves up to get started, or?
I don't know why they have this model. I would assume you are correct. The idea of having these investors is they're not tied to any team, and they are giving money to the league to use for their growth and business leisures and things like that.
It's interesting, because I was trying to see if I can find what the unrivaled revenue split is. Because I assume it's much more equitable to a 50-50.
I thought about putting that in there, and then I forgot.
Just because we know that Nafisa and Brianna kind of very specifically made the league in an attempt to set the new standard of what becomes the expectation for how to pay professional women basketball players.
So I think the way they have it is the players are 100% in the unrivaled because it's all player owned. All the players get a 15% split, and that I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it as it grows and whatnot, but I think it's enough because there's 6, I think, unrivaled teams.
Okay, so they are doing there's a salary pool and then a revenue pot that the players split. So there's a few different bits going on here. Yeah, something about the unrivaled players split a 15% league equity pool. The percentage from the player pool is determined by several factors, including how many years the players signed for and their other pro basketball accolades.
So I think it's player by player specific on how you get paid out in the unrivaled league.
Because you get your contract, and then you get your revenue share.
And I don't think everyone's going to be equal because I would assume as Nafisa and Brianna are the founders, they probably get a little bit more of the juice than someone else.
Yeah, the thing about the other basketball accolades makes me think that they're definitely taking care of the other All-Stars and MVPs and that sort of thing.
Yeah, to come because those are the people that people are going to want to come see. So you may get a little bit more of the bite back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's different. So the WNBA is, I'm going to use the word special because it is special.
It's a unique model. Yeah, they're kind of specifically designed to break this mold.
Kind of. So the players get no revenue at all. So that means if you go to the WNBA shop right now and you buy whoever your favorite player is, Nafisa would be up there. You go buy a jersey for Nafisa. Nafisa gets no money for that.
Versus all the other leagues.
Yep. If you went and you bought Bo Nix jersey right now, Bo Nix gets a kickback for some of that. He gets 49% because it's the NFL. 49% of that will go
That's
to
a
Bo
wildly
Nix.
good cut.
Yeah.
Out of the jersey sales. I doubt the NHL is that good.
The NHL is 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're 50-50. So all the money that goes into whatever profit and revenue, they split it 50-50 between the players. The NHL is the only one that does that.
Well, good for us. Good old Canadian ethics there in business.
The crazy thing is, right, the WNBA is, I'm going to say, so growth hungry, is that the only time players get money like a revenue share of money is when the league grows. So like last year they expected it to grow by 20%. So the players got half of that. So they got 10%. Which is
and I think I saw a thing about how they're part of the big challenge for the players' side of negotiations on this coming one is trying to maximize the value out of the huge burst that Caitlin Clark kind of specifically, along with Angel Reese and the new class of talent coming in have generated for the league, which has been estimated by some people to be over $1 billion worth.
Yeah, I'm curious how they deal with something like the double dipping and stuff, because a lot of the NBA owners also have WNBA teams. That's one of the ways you can kit a WNBA team, and which is why Denver does not have one yet, because the Cronkies haven't put their foot into the game quite yet for whatever reason. But if you are getting 42% as an owner, but also whatever profit is going to the NBA, you're also going to get...
If you're getting some of that 16% investor kick too, or is that...
No, the 16% investor kick is just straight back to the investors. It's like a dividend sort of thing.
Okay. Interesting. Because if you were, say, a billionaire who owned a team, but then also, say, had a sports drink brand or something who then sponsored the league or something, wouldn't you get...
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I think that would apply too. Yeah,
okay.
you could almost triple dip on what the WNBA does for profits.
Interesting. Yeah, that is a very much a non-standard thing, and I do imagine that the next sort of CBA will have to have some some modeling for like how to address that in the future.
I don't know what their plan is. I understand why the NBA is involved, but also like 42% is so much for some, like you're not really doing anything for the WNBA as a whole for the most part. Like if you have owners that are already owners of the NBA team, sure, like they allow you, like the NBA does allow them on their networks when there's like games all day or whatever.
Yeah.
But like there's nothing, I don't know what you're doing that equates to the 42%.
That is hugely like just you are our kind of baby sport, and we will continue to.
I just don't know how you grow from there, because the players hate it. I know that for sure. That much I didn't. I don't know how you work that into the CBA. I think everyone's going to be very resistant. Not only like the investors for sure aren't going to want.
Yeah, no one in that equation is going to want their number to go down.
Correct.
Of that split,
and you have to. The players are going to want something for sure. Like that is without a doubt what I would expect to be in the CBA, and probably what we might end up striking over. But I don't know where it's going to come from, and it's not very good for growth overall. Like there's no incentive for players to, like, it is the biggest league and they're not paying very much because the Unrivaled League is already paying players so much better for the short season they have. Why would I not? If this does not work, why would I not take the Unrivaled and do something more special out with because I already have a lot of the connections I need as like brand ambassadors for a bunch of things and whatnot. I could do my own thing over here.
Yeah, 100%. And I have seen some discussion about, is it a conflict of interest for Nafisa and Brianna to both be heads of the Unrivaled League, like founders there, and also lead negotiators for the WNBA Players Association, when their Unrivaled League stands to see more success if the Players Association were to go on strike?
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that's kind of like a 1-in-1 situation. It's like the PLL and the NLL, like they are kind of holding hands together. No one in lacrosse gets paid a whole lot of money, and respectively to Devin Booker $72 million that he's about to get a year. But at the same time, like, why can we not work together and sort of do this such that I can make a living as a professional athlete, as sort of the fame I bring on?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that I don't think those two, like in particular, would be of that mindset to be like, we'll tank the negotiations with the WNBA so that our Unrivaled League, like, you're in year 2 on that. It doesn't make sense from a growth point of view. You can't handle all of the WNBA players in being in the Unrivaled League all of a sudden.
No, you cannot, not from a growth perspective, but there is the bargaining chip of we can take
some of your best players.
We will take the best players out of here and go do what we want.
Make sure they can still play basketball.
Yes. Which would be catastrophic to the WNBA as the sport still grows.
Yeah, for sure. Out of curiosity and just looking it up here, the PWHL also has no formal revenue sharing model built into their current bargaining agreement.
Because they're private.
They are, I mean, that's the one billionaire owns the whole thing. So.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm not going to touch that one. That one is like it's like, what can you do with it? He owns the whole thing.
Yeah, you get whatever scraps he deigns that you are worthy of.
Yeah, I can't tell the guy to, no, this is not how it's done. He owns it.
That's an unfortunate form of that model. But I suppose the other side of that is they are not reliant on kicking back a cut to the NHL.
I think I'd almost prefer one owner over the model that we have, because there is the incentive there as an owner. I can kind of dip in, but as the sole guy,
you have to keep the whole thing floating.
I get the whole thing and make all the decisions and all the profit. I get to say who gets what and decide.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost better.
Definitely a little telling, though, that the women's leagues have such far more lopsided sort of structure for how those financials work out.
I just think there's a better way, better model to do it all. Like I said,
clearly it's the NHL where no one gets that much money.
That is a way. I think the WNBA players would die for an NHL contract.
The 50-50, yeah, absolutely.
Well, not even the 50-50, but also just a salary.
Just
they would, if they could get a Nathan McKinnon or they.
Oh yeah, for Nafisa to make $12 million a year or something off of.
They would, if they maxed out at Sidney Crosby, even that would be
the 7, 87, 8.7. Yeah, that'd be huge for them. And I mean, based on the numbers you think from how much like sponsorship and media stuff is built into the league, you'd think they could swing those numbers by now, but here we are.
Here we are, indeed. Well, let's get happier now that we've been depressed by how we have treated women's sports. Let's go to our closing quiz. What do we got this week?
Yeah, what a perfect segue, because the closing quiz this week is inspired by your favorite aspect of this week, the All-Star Game selections.
Oh my God. I hate the way they do the All-Star selections.
This week's quiz, as always, a couple bonus points, a couple, maybe a trap card or two in here. But what we've got is questions about the All-Star performances, selections, etc. of our Colorado sports teams.
Okay.
I will start you off here. I don't have them in the order that is... Well, all right, we'll start here with the true and false section. I think that's easiest.
Yep, I like me a good Scantron's true or false.
Okay, and this one I think is the easiest of the batch here. We'll start with true or false. Joe Sakic is in the top 5 all-time in All-Star Game scoring.
In All-Star Game scoring? I think that is true, actually, because he had some fun in the All-Star games.
That is absolutely true. He is third all-time in All-Star Game scoring with 6 goals, 16 assists, 22 points in 13 selections, 12 games actually played. He missed one due to injury, which is behind only Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux.
Pretty good names to be behind.
Absolutely. Stacked roster there.
I'm waiting for Joe Sakic hockey to come out.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Oh, he's actually doing the game. Okay, my bad.
Our next All-Star quiz question here. True or false? A Denver Nugget has never won All-Star MVP.
That's true, actually, because Jokic doesn't have one. The only other... did Thompson get one? No. English, no. Melo for sure did not get one because LeBron's been there. So I think that is
True.
Never.
Has never.
I got to do the double reading to make sure I'm not getting tricked to highlight the not. Yeah, I think that is true.
Unfortunately, it is false. David Thompson did get one in 1979.
That's the only one I was like, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And that was a fun little tidbit in my research there. Okay. Our next one concerns our All-Stars of the Week, the Rockies. Which Rocky is the career leader in All-Star RBIs? Which of our Rockies has the most RBIs in their All-Star game career? Is that Matt Holliday, Trevor Story?
Is it trap card? Is this just as Rockies or in their All-Star career?
As Rockies.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, as under the purple pinstripes, who has hit the most RBIs? Matt Holliday, Trevor Story, Vinny Castilla, Todd Helton, or Elias Diaz?
Oof. Elias Diaz, actually, I've heard that name. Don't recall. That's an old Rocky. I think that's a Blake Street Bomber, in fact, perhaps. No, it's not. It's probably I know he's a catcher of some sort, actually.
You do have his position correct.
I do know he's a catcher. He's the one that we had a couple years ago. I do know who it is now.
Yes. Todd
Helton should for sure have been to the most. Don't know how many he actually has played in. Story had a really, really good one.
Story was hot when he was...
Did he go twice for us? I think it was 2 or 3 times.
I think 3.
Yeah, he had the really good one that year. I don't think it's Diaz because he was one of those sacrificial lambs. So Helton should because he's been there the longest, but probably does not. And who is the other name?
Vinny Castilla is the only, and Matt Holliday are the two you haven't muttered about yet.
Yeah, Holliday, I don't think so. He's played and he's played well, but not like I like distinctly remember the Trevor Story one. Matt Holliday, 1, I was too young for. 2, I don't remember him going to the All-Star game a ton or playing a lot as well. Vinny is possible, but I don't know how long he spent with the Rockies. I don't believe it's super long, and I can't imagine him breaking in a bunch of RBIs. I think I'm going to go Trevor Story.
Incorrect, unfortunately. You should have followed your heart on that one. Todd Helton is our career leader in RBIs with well, before I tell you, can you guess how many? For a bonus point.
He's played for 100 years. He made the All-Star game of about half of them. 5
or 6 times, yeah. How many times did he knock in an RBI in all those games?
So All-Star game doesn't really matter.
You get maybe 2, maybe 3 at-bats per.
So
he probably had like 14 at-bats altogether.
So I think I'm going to go, if you're having 14 bats total, let's say you make it on half of those, you get 7 hits. If the bases are loaded, he's not going to hit a home run super often. He's kind of the double king because Lord knows his legs can't take him to third. So let's say 17.
No, Todd Helton has knocked in 3 RBI in the All-Star game.
What are we doing here?
Elias Diaz is in second with 2 RBI on a home run. And every other Rockies All-Star has 1 or fewer.
Nice.
We have collectively in 32 years of sending representatives put in 8 RBIs to the National League roster.
I'm proud of us. Look at us go. That's 32 years. We got 8 RBIs. That's like
almost not worth playing us at all.
Imagine that. Imagine if someone would stop sending representatives.
The funny flip side to that is our Rockies pitchers in the All-Star game, 0 ERA, have not ever given up a run.
Who's pitched for us? Baldo? Street?
No, Houston Street never made it. Brian Fuentes was our closer that went 3 years in a row. Herman made it 1 year.
I forget. Yeah.
And then like Hampton was like their very first Rockies pitcher to make it way back in 2001.
The man we're still paying.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, no points off of that one, unfortunately.
Doing good.
So far, so good. We got 1 out of 3. Our next question.
It's Hall of Fame level.
As we crank up the difficulty here, we'll go to this one. Which position group have the Broncos sent the most of to the Pro Bowl? So by position, which have we sent the most of? Is that wide receivers, running backs, defensive backs, quarterbacks, or linebackers?
Defensive backs, because we've had Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, almost the whole no-fly zone. TJ Ward's been there. Surtain's been there already. Moss might have even went this year, if I remember correctly, and we've had another safety. I think it's for sure defensive back.
You are 100% correct. Defensive back is our number 1 Pro Bowl position with 16 appearances all time.
I completely forgot about Champ Bailey.
Yeah, I was there a few times.
I think Dre Bly might have even made an appearance there for us.
I think you're correct, yeah. I'll give you a bonus point if you can name position number 2.
Position number 2 for us?
Yeah, second place out of the rest. Wide receiver, running back, QB, or LB?
That's a tough one because like wide receivers, we've had a lot of good ones. Like Rod Smith's been there. Brandon Marshall's been there for us.
Demarius
has been there for us. Wes Welker's been there for us.
Eddie Mack got one.
Eddie Mack, Ed Lloyd. So that's probably like would be my first guess.
They're all pretty. Like I'll tell you, they're all pretty close together.
That'd be my. The linebacker one is tough too because we've had so many good edge rushers throughout the years. I know it's not running back is not the one because it's been like maybe Terrell Davis.
Terrell got a few.
Maybe Little's gotten a couple, if one, yeah. And then Portis maybe if one for the short time he was here, and that was like it.
I think there might have been a few more Shanahan year ones of like. That run he had where he could take anyone and give him 1,000-yard.
Tatum Bell, the Bells, Mike Bell, yeah.
Well, what's our answer for our number 2 spot here?
Wide receiver or linebacker? Wide receiver or linebacker? I think I'm gonna go wide receiver for some reason. I think because we have it's probably linebacker because I just didn't know which one. We've had so many good ones.
14 linebackers to 12 wide receivers and 12 running backs. Or 12 running back selections, I should say. But you still did get the main point for that one. You did nail that. It was DBs with the most appearances. So we're 2 out of 4.
Defensive stoppers we are. Absolutely.
And now for the last couple here, we're getting a little trixier. Do you want the hockey one or the basketball one first?
Give me the hockey one. I want to try to go out on a good note. No shot I get this one, but
okay.
We'll swing for the fences.
Fantastic. Who was the Avalanche All-Star representative in the 2012 season that saw them finish bottom of the division? Was that Milan Hajduk, Semyon Varlamov, Eric Johnson, Matt Duchene, or Gabe Landeskog. In one of our worst performances of all time.
Dang, all those are very, very possible. Because was the question is, was Hayduk was still around then?
I'll go ahead and tell you the trick is not that none of these are all players who were on that roster that year.
Okay.
That is not a trick I pulled on this one.
It's tough because I think this would.
And I will also say, as a generous DM, that maybe is not the only kind of trick I could have pulled on this one. For
sure. Possible that no one made it for us. Highly possible, because you shouldn't get in if you're bad. That's rule number one. You can unless you have a really, really, really good player, which no one was there quite yet. Duchene was pretty good. I don't think it was Gabe. It has to be Duchene or Hayduk, and they would only send Hayduk unless if it was his final year or whatever. Is we're sorry. We're sorry about all this, and you're probably the captain at this time. This is a whole turd show. So Varlamov is also very possible because why not? He's actually
these are all players who have the potential to do it.
I think that's probably my guess would be Hayduk as my bad, bro.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You should have gone with your heart. The correct answer is no one, not a single one of these players made it that year. The 2012 All-Star Game featured no Colorado Avalanche.
I know, because what should happen is
they followed your heart.
You should send in, here's our representative, and they take that and they throw it in the pit of fire.
What they did that year was it was the first year that they tried to do the fantasy draft format of All-Star Game, where they had the two top vote getters as the captains, and then they had them pick their teams out of the remainder, and none of the so this was Gabe Landeskog's sophomore year. It was his first year as captain. It was Milan Hayduk's last season, and then everyone else Johnson was still this was kind of.
Did they rip the C off of your Hayduk?
Or
did he hand it down?
Yeah, it was a full thing of, he said, "This is the future. I'm giving the C to Gabe."
I'm not the captain of this boat.
Basically, it was a weird roster for that 2012 year. Some wild names on it, but that's a fun one. And then, okay, so you're going out on the basketball one.
Yep.
One of the trickier ones I came up with, if I do say so.
I figured as much.
Can you name the Nuggets players who have been selected to multiple All-Stars alongside a teammate?
Alongside a teammate?
Twice in history, you've had two Nuggets go, and it's been...
So twice it's been done in history. So Chauncey Billups and Melo are one of the pairs, and then David Thompson and Alex English would be the other. Was David they were they the same time period?
There was a little overlap there, but I
don't think so. I think that, because David Thompson was crashing out a little bit towards the time we got Alex English. So it can't be. I know for sure Melo and Billups. Allen Iverson and Melo would be the other pair, but that'd be. I don't know if they made it together.
I'll tell you what, you've got one era's pair correct so far, and not the other era's pair. And this name is one that we have not mentioned on the podcast before, but I think will ring some bells for old head Nuggets.
Okay, so it's for sure an older pair, because Nikola Jokic,
we know, he's had
people play in the All-Star game with him. His second year, we got to play at Jamal Murray in the
rookie game or something. Yeah, but that doesn't count.
It was World versus the
North
NBA.
America or something.
It was USA versus the World, and Jamal being from Canada and Jokic, they got to play together. That's adorable. So that didn't count. Who would have went? Melo, I know. I distinctly remember because I was like, we're good again. It's all good. And then Melo said, no, we're not good. And I said, who would be the other pair? Have to be earlier on. Alex English.
I'll go ahead and just tell you, it's Alex English and someone else.
Ooh.
And that the other pair
is it Kiki?
It is Kiki Vanderway. Yes, you did figure that one out. It was Melo and Iverson, did it 2 years in a row, 06, 07, and 07, 08, and then English and Kiki Vanderway, 82, 83, and 83, 84.
Yeah, I had to get my Nugget timeline in my head.
Good job.
Thank you.
Way to work your way through that one, which I believe gives you a final score of 3 out of 6.
Hall of Fame. Even better than Hall of Fame. I'm Babe Ruth level.
We're getting
Legendary.
to about, I think this is about where our bell curve is about 50%.
50, 60.
Yeah. Maybe we should start standardizing the format, but I think there's kind of fun in
I 100% like the game.
Open-ended.
Yeah.
The game changer element of it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, that has been our All-Star Week closing quiz. Zach, you knew the All-Star range pretty good, but yeah, I did. I'm glad I can still trip you up a little bit every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know enough about hockey or baseball. God forbid the Rockies do something positive.
I could have really tripped you up on doing the pitching one, but oh well.
We've had a lot of pitchers go for some reason. That's blasphemous, actually.
A higher amount than you would suspect, perhaps, from the Colorado Rockies.
Our sacrificial lamb, it really should just be Kyle Freeland all the time. Here you go, buddy. Go.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think he has been one of them too.
He has been.
Yeah.
He was the one for here, even I think. In fact, the one we stole it from whoever.
Oh,
during the COVID.
Yeah, the COVID year.
Yeah, we're like, we'll take it.
Yeah, I think that yeah.
And they were like,
a lot of bells.
Do you have a representative? And they're like, hometown kid.
Sure we do. Yeah, here we go.
Hometown kid.
Well, either way, he still didn't give up any earned runs.
Bastard. Anyway, any other sports news you want to talk about before we go up here, before we wrap up?
I'm trying to think.
That we might have forgotten. Do we have a final on that Rockies game?
Oh, great question. Let's take a look here. It was...
We lost.
4-3 final in the ninth inning.
They had a walk-off?
The Reds rally for 2 runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
bet it was a walk-off home run.
A walk-off. Oh, God.
The box score is not big enough for all the events that happened.
In the bottom of the ninth, a triple to center.
That is not a good way to start.
And then Marte safe at first on a fielding error by second baseman Orlando Arcia. Benson scores Fraley to third. There you go. And that a walk-off error, essentially.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's still series tied. They have one more against the Reds out in Cincinnati tomorrow. Early in the Mountain Time. It's an 11:40 game.
We're not winning.
Unlikely. But you never know. It depends on which team is more mentally out of it ahead of the All-Star break here.
You mean which team just kicked the ball into the outfield and lost the game because we forgot how to field the ball for the last out?
But Cincinnati might be thinking, we don't have to try that hard. It's just the Rockies.
That's how we got the Yankees.
They're not wrong.
This is how we got the Yankees.
Yeah, basically.
Take us out.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening along. As always, if you enjoyed the podcast, give us a follow on Spotify. Leave us a little 5-star rating. That would be very helpful to us in terms of getting that growth we keep talking about, getting new eyes and ears around the podcast, and it makes us feel good. It'll let us know that people are listening.
Makes me feel real good.
Okay, weird turn there. You can also find This Week in Sports on our 321 Productions YouTube page at 321pods and on our website, 321pods.com, 321pods, however you want to spell it. It's up there. You can follow us. You can give us feedback. And yeah, I think that's all we've got for this week. Until next time, gang, I have been your host with the most, Nick, with my co-host, Zach.
Thank you guys for coming along. We'll see you guys next week.
Adios.